Hey there. Y'all might hear a lot of dog barking. The dog across the street that I call Slim, which I have no idea what his actual name is. For some reason, I call him Slim. He's over there barking. Of course, as soon as I sat down to do this, that's when he decided, hey, it's time to bark. But anyway, hi there. um, I thought I would just tell you about my day. Just, how thrilling it was waiting once again for nothing. Uh, my toilet still leaks. I saw my landlady towards the end of the day here because I hadn't seen her out today. I mean, I was kind of waiting around thinking that someone was going to show up to fix the toilet, but I saw her and she was like, I can't find anybody to come do it. So I'm not sure what that means as far as does that mean I'm just going to be stuck with a leaky toilet forever and ever and ever? Maybe. So, yeah. So just get that out of the way. Yeah, is still leaking and I have no idea when it's going to be done, but now I've waited this whole week so far and for nothing. So anyhow, other than that, I did get to finish my wardrobe, cleaning it out and reorganizing and getting stuff put into my new drawer thing over here. And it feels wonderful. And I did manage to get the top drawer. I put a bunch of food stuff in there. What I decided to do was put my Pop-Tarts in there because I had ordered more Pop-Tarts because I was getting low. And since it's my favorite thing in the whole world to snack on, I ordered me some more and they were on sale, so I took advantage of that. And so they came today, so I put those in there and I decided that was also going to be a good place to store any kind of canned good type things that I have, things that are in cans. And so that cleared up some space in my little thing I was talking about that I put all my cram all my food stuff in. So I took all the food stuff out, cleaned it all up, wiped everything down, dusted things off and cleaned it up and reorganized that so that now it's a little more cohesive and better. It's still going to be an issue whenever I go to make certain things. I'm still going to have to kind of pull things out to get to other stuff. So, there's not a whole lot I can do about that, but at least it's a little more organized now and I can get to some of the things that I use more frequently. I can get to easily in that top drawer. And I mean, I don't need to worry about anything that would leak anyway, because I was talking last night, I said, I was thinking about maybe putting dry goods and not putting anything in there that might leak out onto my clothes, but those drawers are just, solid plastic drawers. And so even if something's spilled, it's not going to leak down into my clothes because it'll be contained within the drawer. But there's nothing in there that would really leak anyway. So I think I've got it sorted out pretty well. And I finally decided to throw out a bunch of crap that I just hold on to because I'm one of these people that tends to hold on to things. I'm not really necessarily a hoarder because, I mean, obviously I like things clean and neat and organized as much as possible. So I don't want my entire place just, stacked up to the ceiling with a bunch of stuff like, typical hoarders do. But I do have a tendency to hold on to a lot of things because I'm always thinking, this could be useful at some point, so I should probably keep it just in case I need it. Because I can't tell you the number of times that I have held on something for ages and ages and ages, finally decided, okay, I'm going to get rid of this because it's been sitting here for months or years or whatever. And inevitably, that's the time after I've gotten rid of it that something will come up and I'm like, oh, I should use such and such. And then I go searching and searching, and then it dawns on me, oh, yeah, that's right. You finally threw that out. Now you need it, and you threw it out. But I went ahead and got rid of some stuff anyway, because like I have a tendency to hold on to cardboard boxes. Like every time I order stuff from Lazada and I get things in boxes, I tend to save them all. Because I never know if I'm going to need a box for something, or, you know, the cardboard from it or whatever. And I finally said, no, throw it out. It's taking up valuable space that you desperately need. So I started just pulling things out when I started cleaning out that wardrobe. And I just started making like a pile of, okay, this is garbage. Just get rid of it. And there's this lady that comes by practically every day. I see her come by out there. She's got one of those scooter cart things like I was talking about before. Only hers actually has like this little canopy thing over the top, because a lot of them do. And she goes all around going through trash cans and stuff and collecting things that can be recycled or things that people throw out that are maybe broken or whatever. And I don't know what she does with them, but maybe she sells things for parts, or, you know, who knows what. But whatever the case, she's always looking for stuff. And I've actually given her a ton of boxes that I was storing outside, because I store a lot of crap outside because I don't have, you know, places in here to put stuff. So a lot of junk is sitting outside. But one day I went through all of that too, because it was just getting out of control. And I started pulling all this stuff out, and it's like the majority of what I had out there were just empty boxes. So I gathered up all of those, and then I saw her one day out there going through the trash, and I told her, I said, come over here. And I filled up her thing. I mean, she pulled that scooter cart thing in here. And I mean, I was filling that thing up with empty boxes and stuff. And she was happy, you know, because she obviously, maybe she gets some money for it or something. Maybe she takes it to a recycling place or something. I don't know. But so I've got a whole stack of stuff over here to give to her. I saw her out there today, but it was before I started going through all this stuff. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set all this aside. And then when I see her again, I'm going to give her this stuff, because I know she'll take it. And that way it doesn't just get thrown out. It gets, you know, it goes to somebody who's looking for that type of stuff. And then, you know, whatever she does with it is whatever she does with it. But so I was really happy. It feels so good to have gotten that thing cleaned out. Now when I open it up, things aren't like flying out at me and stuff. I mean, before it was just so bad that, you know, it was scary almost to open the doors up, because it's like, oh God, and it was overwhelming to just, everything just crammed in there. And now it's like it breathes again, you know. It's like that wardrobe has life once again, and it can actually breathe because it's not so full of crap. And same with my storage stuff for my food. It's like now I feel like, even though I might have to pull some things out to get to certain things, it's not going to be as much of an ordeal, because it's so much more organized and stuff. And it just feels wonderful. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it just feels really good when things are organized and clean, and just, I don't know, it just makes your life a lot easier. So I'm just really happy about it. I'm so glad I got that thing. And they have another one over there. This is 5 drawers. And they have another one just like it that's 4 drawers. And it's really tempting to get it. Although at the moment, I don't really have any place I could put it with the tree. You know, it's like once I took the tree down, then I could have another one, which would really be helpful. But then, you know, come next year, assuming I'm still living here next year, which I hope so, because I really love this place. Assuming I'm still here, you know, I'm going to want to put my tree up, and then I'm going to be like, okay, now where am I going to put these drawers? Because I don't really, I mean, I've run out of space to put things. I mean, of course, I don't need to have as many cat trees as I have in there because I've kept the broken ones as well as the new one that I have. But with the broken ones, I've basically what I did was I took off the broken pieces and then I kind of rearranged things a little bit to keep the salvageable parts so that they would still have those things to play on and whatever. Okay, hold on one second because that puppy's going to start yelping and screaming. And I know it's just, maybe he stopped. Okay. If he starts up again, I'm just going to pause so you don't have to listen to it. But I swear, after I saw him the other night out here, I saw it was just the two puppies and the mama, and they were either fighting with each other or, playing too rough or something. It wasn't someone abusing them, thankfully, because that was my concern when I heard it before. I was like, oh God, I hope nobody's like hurting it. But I think it's just the mama teaching it or the other puppy playing too rough or something. So, excuse me. But yeah, I love this place. I don't know if I've talked about this on here. I probably have, but I'll talk about it again. I love this house. When I first came here to this house, I didn't think I was going to be staying. I was actually planning to go back to America at the time. This was last year. And I was really just going to be staying here for like a month or two, at most, because I was trying to get things lined up to go back to the States and everything. And was really planning to go back. I had actually purchased my ticket to go home and everything, and had arranged with an old friend to go stay with them and all of this. But there was this one morning that I got up and I was having my morning coffee, and I went and I stood at the sliding glass door, and I was just looking out, and the sun was coming in, and it was just a beautiful morning. It was just what I would call a magical morning. There was just something about that morning that just really struck me. And I just started sobbing. I mean, sobbing. And I just had this overwhelming feeling that came over me that said, this is where you want to be. Why do you want to leave? You've waited your whole life to live in a little house like this, to be in a place like this. What are you going back for? And it just really, it overtook me in that moment. And I just thought, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave here. Because I realized that I really was in a place that was exactly where I've wanted to be for pretty much my whole life. It was really a strong feeling. And because ever since I can remember, even when I was a child and I used to play stuff, pretend things, I was always pretending like I lived at the beach and lived in a tropical place. And, I loved the palm trees and tropical plants and all of that stuff. And I always dreamed of living in a place like this. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry. I had to clear my throat, and I knew it was going to be like really loud, so I figured I'd just pause it. But yeah, I've always wanted to be in a place like this. And I'm actually somebody who's never, ever had a desire to live in a big house, like these big mansions and big fine homes and all of that stuff. Never had a desire for it at all. Never interested me. I've always dreamed of just having just a little cozy cottage or bungalow, some little place that was just, really cozy. And that's exactly what this is, this little one-room house. I mean, I guess you could say it's a 1.5 room house. I mean, that is kind of a room in there, but it's just so small, it's not really. It's more like a foyer or something. But I've just always loved a little small house. It's like I don't ever go I don't ever go in there. I mean, it's like, even though I've got that space in there, that's why I turned it into the cat room, because I stay in here all the time. This is where I'm happy. I love to be in this room. I love that my kitchen and my bedroom's all the same thing. The bitchin'. I love it. I love it. And I don't know. There's just something about this place that just feels so good to me. And it's loud. There's traffic always going by, and there's dogs, and, there's all this stuff going on. But I love it. And I really hope that I get to stay here for however long is possible, because it really truly is like a dream come true to be in this house and to be where I am. And I never thought I was going to be in a foreign country, especially an Asian country. I mean, I just never would have imagined that I would be in a place like this. And so I'm just so happy to be here. And there's a lot of stuff that gets on my nerves, I won't lie. But where are you going to live in the world where there's not something that gets on your nerves? I mean, it's going to be like that no matter where you are. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But the good outweighs the bad, in my opinion. It's like there's, from my perspective of this place, even with the things that drive me absolutely insane on a daily basis, there's way more that I love and that makes me happy, and that just, it feels like home. It really does. It feels like home. And like today, I went out to go on a couple of little errands just here close by. And once again, it's like, it was going to rain. I could tell that the sky was getting really dark, but I needed to go do a couple of things. And I went out, and it just felt wonderful again. I was just loving it once again, loving being out on my bicycle, even though it was just a short little trip up the road and back. And just, I don't know, I look around and I'm just like, I'm so happy to be here. I don't know how I got off on all this. I mean, first I'm talking about storage and cleaning things and organizing. I think I was just talking about that I'm hoping that, I'm still here next year, at Christmas time to put up my tree. And if I got that other storage thing that, it's going to take up room or whatever. And I get off on these tangents, but it's because I just, I think about something, and as I start talking about it, then it leads me to something else, and then I get I wander away. But yeah, I love this place. I love it so much, and I really want to continue to be here. And, it's like, yeah, it's annoying that I've still got a leaky toilet after, all week long waiting for somebody to come. But at the same time, I know that it'll get fixed eventually. Hopefully it doesn't cause a lot of water damage. And I think it mostly is leaking when you flush the toilet. I think that's when it's really doing the most leaking. So hopefully it's not too terribly bad, because like I mentioned before, you don't go in the bathroom and see water all over the floor. I mean, I didn't even know it was leaking until I went to go pick up my cleaning rags, and they were sopping wet. And that's what led me to realize that, oh my gosh, I have a leak. But anyway, things are different here. Things are just different here. And I know, after living here as long as I have, that, this is normal. It's normal to expect someone to come and repair something or do something that you're waiting for, and they may or may not come. Like when I first decided I was going to stay here, I realized that, okay, I don't want to run the air conditioner all the time. I like having my windows open. Excuse me. But there weren't screens on the windows or the front door, the sliding glass door. There wasn't a screen or anything. And I couldn't leave them open. I couldn't open the windows or open the door because of cats. And I didn't really want to just leave them wide open for flies and mosquitoes and whatever to come in. So once I realized I was going to stay, I asked the landlady, is it okay if I have someone install screens. And she agreed and said that she would even, contribute a little bit. Like she paid like a third of the cost. And so, she talked to the people. She said, I'll arrange it and whatever. So she talked to the people about having them come out to do the screens, because they had to come out and measure, and they had to actually make them, to fit everything. And we waited and waited, and I can't even remember how long. It was like a month before they actually showed up. I mean, they kept saying they were going to come, and they never came. And so I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, one day, they just happened to show up, whenever they got ready to, and measured and all that stuff. And then I had to wait, of course, for them to actually make the screens and actually bring them in to install them. But, I mean, that's the way it is here. It's like you never know. You just don't know, if somebody's actually going to come and do what they say they're going to do. I mean, even when the ceiling collapsed, I couldn't believe this because, I mean, I was freaking out when I had no ceiling. And I could see all up into the roof, right? And I could see that there were places where you could look out into the sky from the roof, because things are just not made the same here as they are in America. And so you could actually see out into the sky, and we were having heavy rains. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to rain in the house. They really need to get out here and fix this right away. But they weren't in any hurry. So I had to live with no ceiling in there for, I don't remember how many days. I think it was like almost a week. And she had this one guy come out because she needed to have somebody come out and take a look to see what needed to be done and all this stuff. And this guy shows up, and he was like drunk. Some dude, he comes in here and he just stood in there, and he's just like looking at the ceiling area, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh God, I was like, I hope this is not the guy that's going to come and do this work. And she even said after he left, she was like, I'm going to keep looking. And then she talked to someone else that finally came out and took a look, and they had to measure, and, they actually acted like they knew what they were doing. They came in and measured things. I mean, this other drunk guy, he just came in and just stood there looking at it like, yeah, there's no ceiling, all right, It's like, what? Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. But luckily, the other people that came, they measured everything. They, spent time in here assessing the whole thing, and that's when they said, we're just going to rip out all of this and put all new ceilings in because of the termite damage. That's what caused it. And that's why they need to get out here again and check this stuff, because there's termite damage that I could see going up the wall over here. There's like this whole section where it's like you can tell that it's happening again, because that was back in, I think, May, when they were out here doing that, April or May. And they came out and sprayed and all that stuff, but it's time to come out again. So it's like they need to do this stuff because I love my house and I don't want it falling down around me or on top of me, because that was the thing that was scary. After that fell in there, I was so paranoid that this was going to start falling. So every night when I was laying in the bed, I was just like, oh God, I just hope my ceiling doesn't fall on me. Because I had to wait for days and days. I mean, it was like, I don't even remember now. I think it was like a whole week or something before they actually came out and started working on it. It was a nightmare. It was just horrible. And the dust, oh my gosh, the dust never settled. I mean, for months after they had already done the work and everything was all finished, and even after we painted and everything, I just kept every single day. I would dust, and then within a few hours I would look, and there would be a layer of that white powdery dust, because that dust was it just never seemed to settle. And for months, it just did not go away. I mean, it was horrible. But I still love my house. I still love it. And I'm still grateful that I'm here, and I just hope that it stay standing and I don't have too many more problems. I just wish that people were a little more reliable, because that is one of the problems here, is that, people aren't that reliable. And I mean, even my landlady, she's even talked about that. She's like, people they're too lazy. They don't want to do anything, because she would have other people come out about fixing something or doing something, and they'd come and they'd look at it and they'd say, yeah, I'll do it or whatever. And then they wouldn't show up, or, days would go by and then they would just happen to show up at some random time on a random day. It's like, well, we're here now. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, yay. All right. So, yeah. So I don't know how I ended up getting off on all that stuff. That was not even what I was planning. I mean, basically, I was just going to talk about, getting all this organization stuff done today, which I'm just so happy about. It feels good. It's like this big load lifted off my shoulders, because, I mean, it just weighs on you, after a while, when you keep opening things up and you're like, and you don't even want to, you don't even want to open the wardrobe or go over there to try to cook anything, because it's like, oh God, I got to deal with all this stuff. Just, how am I going to find this one thing that I need that's somewhere in all this crap? So yeah, it feels good to have it done. So I'm really happy about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I don't really think there was anything else. I guess tomorrow is going to be another day of maybe or maybe not. Somebody's showing up to fix this thing. I may have to just start watching some YouTube videos and learn how to fix it myself. And I've done that before. I've come in here and I've replaced my faucet. I've gone under there when I had a leak under my sink. I went under there and turned the water off and did some stuff to fix the leak under the thing. So I may just have to do it myself if I want it done. So, and I've done that many times. If I can't find somebody that's going to do it for me and I need something done, I start looking on YouTube, trying to find, do-it-yourself videos. Try to learn how to do it myself, and I've done it before, so maybe I'll have to fix my own dang toilet and send them a bill. No. But she probably would if I said, hey, yeah, I went and bought these parts and I fixed it. Maybe she would reimburse me for the parts. I don't know, but maybe not. She might just say, oh, good, I'm glad, thanks. So anyway, I guess I'm going to go so that I can attempt to make another ASMR video tonight. Because I really want to, I need to, and so I don't know what I'm doing yet. That's pretty much how it always is. I never really know what kind of video I'm going to make until I sit down to make it. And I'm like, let's see, what am I going to do? I don't know. But I'll figure something out, make something, and because I think it's about time I made another one, especially since the last one was just that hangout video explaining why I've not been making videos. Because I've been here doing it, and I just needed a break. I just needed a break over there because I was just getting kind of frustrated, and so, but this channel has helped me out tremendously. I'm telling you, I'm so glad I decided to do this finally, because I've thought about it for a while, and I'm glad that I finally said, okay, let's just do this, because it's helping me every day, mentally, emotionally. It's been life-changing for me, even though, I'm still in the beginning stages. And I did look it up. I was talking about it last night, and I said, I think I'm almost at a month, and I am. The 18th will be 1 month since I started this channel, and it's just been a blessing. It really has. I'm just so glad I did it, because it's just something I really needed. I needed it, and I need it. I still need it every day, and that's why I love coming on here every day and talking about whatever in the heck I'm talking about. I don't know if it's always that exciting. I mean, people might go, yeah, that's real thrilling, but yeah, I love hearing about your leaky toilet. Yeah, but it's good for me. It's good for me. And I appreciate you if you are actually still listening. I do appreciate it very much. And thank you all for commenting. When I get the comments, I appreciate it. I keep saying that over and over, but it's because it's really true. It means a lot to me when you comment, and I do appreciate it. And I really appreciate you being here. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. I'm hoping that one of these days I'll have a good update on this toilet thing and be able to say, yay, it's fixed. Maybe tomorrow will be the day. I keep saying that every day this week. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I hope that you all are having a great day, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.